Hello, and welcome to this audio program brought to you by The1stBATcast. Please like, please subscribe, and please share. Now, enjoy the program. Amy, if you just say something.
Hello, I'm eating my mango.
Perfect. I might just edit that in at some point, just as random points. Just because I think it's wicked. So, hey everybody, and welcome back to issue number 2 of The1stBATcast. With me today are Lisa.
Hello.
Hannah.
Hi.
And Amy.
Hi.
And we've got a pretty packed show, and we're going to talk about a lot of different things and chat about a few things. But Hannah is going to talk about the film Me Before You. And Hannah also wants to talk about how she'd do Harry Potter differently. And Lisa wants to talk about banning helium in Worcester city centre, which is just random. And also Lisa wants to know is why are there so many silver cars? We've got a Tom Hiddleston news update because we all love Tom. All of us love Tom. We're going to talk about some epic skydiving scenes because if you didn't know, Hannah is doing a charity skydiving event shortly. So we thought about doing that because unfortunately we were supposed to do it this weekend, but it was cancelled. So we thought we'd talk about some epic moments of skydiving, and we're going to try and post the Just Giving page. So if you want to help out, it is for charity that Hannah's doing this jump. So it'd be really great to give us some support. And then also I just want to quickly mention that I'll talk a little bit about Voltron, which is a new series on Netflix. So let's start with banning helium in Worcester city centre, Lisa. What on earth is going on?
It's a bit deflating, to be honest, James.
Get all the puns in now. Hannah loves a pun. She sat there. I see she's thinking of them last weekend. It was a story on the Guardian website this morning that Worcester City Council are going to ban the use of helium balloons in city centres and parks and recreations, and impose fines on them. Luckily, the councillor did make a sensible suggestion that they were unable to ban people in their own homes and gardens using them because that would be completely unforceable. But it was just one of those stupid stories that made me think surely we've got more important things to worry about than banning the use of helium balloons. But
it's a bit of a letdown.
Hey! It's interesting because just for all fact fans out there, helium is an element and it's a finite resource in the universe.
I'm sure there was a sensible reason for the ban, but I didn't read the story that far to care, to be honest.
They make a mess because people let them go and they get caught in bushes and power lines, but then it's babies normally that let them go. You can't arrest babies.
I just want to know how they're actually going to enforce the fines. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are they going to have like special constables walking around the high street helium police?
Yeah.
Or is it to do with the fact that people are actually like using helium?
So if the
inhaling helium, I don't know. We need to read. We need to obviously research further.
High from inhaling helium?
Apparently, yes.
Yeah.
I know that.
Because isn't it the source of like laughing gas, or is that something completely different? Nitrous oxide.
Yeah.
We've got a
Science whiz.
I know my elements.
So we're going to call you Heisenberg from now on, then, Amy.
Okay, I've got to live up to this now.
I was going to ask
Can
you
we cite the periodic table? Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's too late. It seems like an odd thing to try and impose. I have to agree. I mean,
the council's always busy doing important work and all that.
It is random, though, isn't it? Totally random.
There's worse random laws, though, isn't there? Like those random ones about being in certain places in America, you can't park a giraffe on the side of the pavement. You can't tie an alligator to a fire hydrant. That's
No, of course not.
somewhere.
That's just stupid.
I mean,
how would you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots.
In which states? Do you know which states they're in?
I haven't got a clue, but I just remember seeing them on
Probably
the internet.
Florida.
So what we need to do is we will look up some of these bizarre laws and we will post any bizarre laws on our Facebook page.
There's lots.
Join in, make sure you post your own as well. I'm sure there's lots to...
Definitely comment on us and just let us know.
is it legal to marry an animal?
Apparently, you can marry a tree.
Probably
Can you?
somewhere.
Why
You can marry a tree.
Do you know someone who's thinking about this?
No. Yeah, a friend.
Your friend again.
Is your friend a sloth by any chance?
No. Just a friend of a friend.
A friend of a friend.
More of an acquaintance, really. Yeah.
So, Helium. Wow. From Helium, let's go to Hiddleston.
Oh, and his bum.
And his bum. And his bum. We all know that, well, everybody loves his bum, don't we? It's very shapely.
Yes. So, our missing member Amber told me this morning that Tom Hiddleston is apparently seeing Taylor Swift. So she's moved on very quickly from Calvin Harris.
Apparently
Nice.
Calvin is not very happy about it either.
No.
I'm surprised.
He posted something on Twitter, the little skull emojis, saying something like shit's about to go down.
Oh dear.
And people snapshotted it and apparently it was quickly removed.
Hello, I'm eating my mango.
Is she now like the female Kanye West?
No, because I actually like Taylor Swift.
She doesn't claim to kind of own the world and weird things like that.
No, but
Yeah.
she just sort of like copyright silly phrases, doesn't she? That's like in normal popular culture. There's that
Yeah.
news story not too long ago. I can't remember what the exact phrase was, but she did try and copyright it.
Oh, is she a control freak? See,
Shake it off.
obviously I've just missed all this going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I don't know. I know she got done for supposed copyright with her Shake It Off song. Some guys in America said it was their song.
The same thing happened to Ed Sheeran, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With his song. But have you listened to the two songs? They don't sound alike.
So is it to do with the sound? Is that to do with the actual music, or is it lyrics?
No, it's the sound. So I think it's something like 39 identical notes, or I don't know, music bars, something in the chorus.
Yeah.
That are supposedly identical. So they're saying that he must have stolen it. However, the song, which is Matt Cardle, obviously not written by, but he features on it, and he's kind of removed himself from it and says he doesn't want anything to do with it, and he respects Ed Sheeran and his music. So it's an interesting one, but it's the guy who's doing the case, the solicitor or whatever it is that he is, was the one that won the one against Robin Thicke, I think.
Oh yeah, because that was the one with
Pharrell?
No, yeah, he did the song with Pharrell, didn't he? But it's artist Marvin Gaye, wasn't it? It's his family that sued.
Was it?
Yeah, because based on there's a little 2 or 3 second beat that's lifted.
Oh, interesting. But I can't remember how much money it's for. It's quite a large sum.
Millions.
It makes you wonder about sampling then, doesn't it? And will that have a future? That was Hannah's stomach rumbling, by the way.
I don't know if you picked that up, but
No, but the best bit, you had to be in the room to see it, was Hannah literally pointing at her stomach, very pleased with herself that her stomach decided to say, "Hi, podcast listeners."
Yeah, I'm just glad it didn't come out as a fart as well. That's why I'm happy. Just kind of like, thank you for that. Could have been worse. Anyway.
So,
I got something to tell you about farting later, but not for the podcast.
Can't wait.
Hello, I'm eating my mango.
we talked a little bit at the top of the show around Hannah's going to do a charity skydiving attempt. So I was having a think about some amazing epic skydiving scenes in movies, and let me know if you guys seen these and whether you think they are epic or whether there's something better that you know. So the first one that sort of sprung to mind for me was actually Bane's escape in The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh yeah,
That's the only one I've seen, I think.
So that's
Oh yeah.
pretty cool. I don't know if it's is it really skydiving, or is it because he...
Well, my other one was going to be, Godzilla, so it's kind of a similar...
I can't believe I forgot that one. That's amazing. That is a brilliant sequence.
I've not seen it. I've got
Not a great film, actually. I
Yeah.
personally don't think. I wanted to watch it because it's got Bryan Cranston in it, and I thought it was quite shit.
Yeah.
Not worth it. It's boring.
It was really disappointing because all the trailers, they just believed that it was going to be basically Heisenberg versus Godzilla, and then an unfortunate event happens and then Heisenberg disappears. But there has got this epic sequence where the American military is skydiving the Special Forces group, and visually it's stunning because they've got like these red gas canisters attached to their
like
legs,
flares, kind of.
and it just looks stunning as they're coming
Visually,
in.
it's amazing. Yeah.
But the
God's
story.
a dinosaur or a gorilla?
dinosaur.
It's the product of a gorilla and a dinosaur.
Oh my god.
Like King Kong.
Don't say that, I'll have all the fanboys going crazy.
What is Godzilla? Godzilla's...
So Godzilla's
It's just
basically
Godzilla.
the theory goes that he's a dormant dinosaur that once the American government were doing nuclear tests in the South Pacific, he's irradiated and grown to a massive size. And then he normally, historically in the 60s films, the Toho ones, he would have been the person who, he was the creature that attacked Tokyo. So Godzilla, or Gojira as is known in Japan, is like a giant reptile who has like this super hot fire breath as well, so he can destroy things. The one thing that is good in the film though is but it doesn't happen enough, is he does have the epic fight at the end where it's Godzilla versus the two other creatures, and that is pretty cool.
I think I fell asleep by that point.
That's fair enough.
Pretty
I
sure
remember
missed it.
King Kong being the same though, getting really excited to see that at the cinema. And it was
It's
a
too
bit
long.
boring.
It's
Is that
too
the one
long.
with- Is it Naomi Campbell?
It's like an hour and a half until they
No,
actually get to the island.
Naomi Watts.
Naomi Watts, that's the
Or
one.
whatever.
Naomi Campbell's black, isn't she?
Yeah, the supermodel. Yeah.
I don't even know who she is. I know she's black. Sorry. Anyway. Yeah, King Kong. Sorry, I interrupted you then.
No, I'd finished what I was saying. It's fine.
Well, funny enough, what they're doing is they're doing another King Kong movie, and then they're going to do Godzilla versus King Kong, which I find quite bizarre because Godzilla's like 25 stories high. He's ginormous, and King Kong's about
Will they,
40 feet high.
will
It's
they
like
not
not even
scale it
comparison.
so that they're the same size?
Well, they're going to have to, because otherwise it's just going to be a case of hi, dead.
Well, no, because King Kong could have like a speed kind of advantage, and he's more intelligent because.
Well,
he's
yeah,
bigger.
look at Ant-Man. Look at
Yeah.
Ant-Man, very powerful superhero. Ant-Man, who would win out of Ant-Man and like the Hulk? That's what we're kind of talking about.
Well,
here.
it depends, doesn't it? Because if the Hulk does a sonic clap, then Ant-Man's doomed. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
I do, kind of.
What's the sonic clap?
So he does a clap.
It's chlamydia, but really bad.
So it's not really to do with gamma radiation, it's all to do with...
It's gonorrhea. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
Come on. So that's why he's so angry all the time.
Yeah. He's itchy. Yeah.
Why have I got the itchy and scratchy theme tune playing in my head right now? The show goes to some very strange places very quickly.
Yeah.
But we are subbing because we're not, as Amy said, there's no Amber this week, so we're not going to get any RoboCop love stories
No.
in this episode. So let's do a bit of a quick film review. And Hannah, you went to see. Oh, we didn't carry on. Should we do some more epic skydiving? Because we do go for a little bit off there.
Yeah, sure.
So we talked about Bane and we talked about Godzilla. Other ones, I really like the skydiving sequence in Captain America: Winter Soldier, right at the very start.
Not seen it.
I've seen it, but I can't remember the scene.
And what's really cool about it is that there's got all these other agents who are about to prepare and board this ship in the middle of the ocean, and unlike everybody else, Cap just jumps out without a parachute straight into the ocean.
Like you do.
Like you do.
I fucking hate Captain America.
I've got a good one.
Why? Why does he hate Cap?
Because he's so good.
I don't like him either.
He's like, oh, I'm so good.
But he's not. He's not. Controversy.
Cap haters.
On the other side
I
now.
don't get it. I mean,
No,
I am
I
Team
just-
Iron Man.
I just have a thing. I think for me, it's just a Marvel versus DC thing. I think the Marvel is very typical American to me. Everything's sort of got to have a, it's got to have a, you know, a deeper meaning to it, and there's got to always be a good ending to it, and it's kind of just a bit more of that, I suppose, family, not all of it, but family side. Whereas DC tends to be a little bit darker and a bit more maniacs, and that's kind of, I think I prefer that.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I do really like Marvel, but I can see your thing for. I think I like Marvel superheroes better than DC ones.
I think if you were to get, if you to name the most famous superheroes in the world, you probably would start with two DC. You'd start with Superman and Batman. They would be probably the first two
You
names.
would. Superman is a rubbish hero. He might as well have. He's rubbish.
Why is he rubbish?
He's just like, get lost, Superman.
It's like,
He's not that super.
what makes Superman frustrating for a lot of people is he suffers from cap complex. I'm going to call it cap complex now because he's so goody-goody.
Basically, like, he shines the apple and gives it to people.
But the challenge, of course, is that he's so powerful. How can you stop him? Because his power levels are off the
Kryptonite.
chart.
Kryptonite's usually the way, yeah.
But if you take that away, there's very few people who can stop him.
I don't like superheroes who save people. Boring.
So you're more of a Punisher type.
Yeah.
I like Deadpool.
I was going to say Deadpool.
Deadpool.
But Deadpool does save people. I mean, he happens to kill a lot of people en route, but he does kill people.
Yeah, I'm probably
The same.
more of like an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Maybe superheroes just aren't for me. I like V. He's not a superhero.
Yeah, I like V.
V's my man.
Can't believe you didn't come to the Comic Con last year and meet the man himself, Mr.
Oh,
David Lloyd.
man, absolutely gutted.
You lost out there.
I love V. Not really a superhero. Anyway,
Yeah.
I really like the skydive in Point Break.
Yeah, that is cool. That is cool.
Oh, I've got one.
Go on.
I don't know whether you've seen it. Seen The Kingsman?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
a
That's
good one.
great. Yeah.
Pretty intense. When you think, well, what happens? They think
I haven't seen it.
there's about 6 of them jumping out the plane, and they get a message in their earpiece to say that one of them's parachute isn't going to open, and how they're going to work together as a team to make sure said person isn't going to die. So it's a bit of a test of personality, because everyone just instantly tries their parachutes, and those that do have parachutes working ping straight up. But the good guy, what's his name? The good-looking guy.
Eggsy.
Eggsy is a nice guy, and for the remaining, it's him and another girl left. They assume that one of them doesn't have a working parachute, so they work together and save each other. But as it turned out, they did both have working parachutes. It was a test of who's a nice person. But it's a good film.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I need to see that. That's
Yeah.
definitely on the watch
It's not
list.
Marvelly, so it's a bit off
Yeah.
topic, but
Mark Miller. I've got the book somewhere. People
Oh,
want to
is there a
read it.
book?
It's a good read.
I hope my skydive means that I hope I have a parachute.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Kind of. That's what you signed up for, right?
Yeah.
parachute
Yeah.
jump, yeah, not a...
When you get there's the guys and they're all stood there, and they're pulling the parachutes out of the bags and they're checking them, and it's pretty nerve-wracking.
Just reliant on this one guy's intelligence, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. And then
He's not had a bad day or got to come in with a hangover or a
Yeah.
grudge.
Yeah.
Well, actually, so I went through to the briefing, and they've got obviously the bag that it's all in. So they have their first parachute, which is the one that they pull out and they hope will work, and then they've got the other one. So that's the reserve, but also in their backpack there's a computer. So if you're actually going too fast, then, and so say like the skydive person gets knocked out or whatever, this one comes out automatically because it can sense that you're falling too quickly, so it pulls out anyway. So it should be fairly foolproof.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very safe.
Yeah, I hope so.
I'm glad you're
Chance of
doing it
getting
and
hit by
I'm
a
not.
car.
I'm pretty terrified when I got through to the briefing and we had to do all the positions. Yeah, pretty terrifying. Anyway.
That's cool though. Really cool. I mean, a couple of others that I thought of. One of them's not technically a parachute, but I still think it's really cool, is in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, where there is no parachute, so they have to jump out and they use a life raft, and they end up sliding down mountains in India.
I need to watch more films that contain skydives because I haven't seen.
I've seen that film, I think. I've seen a few Indiana Joneses, but I can't remember which ones.
I had an Indiana Jones fact, which probably big Indiana Jones fans are aware of, but in terms of we were talking about people you would cast, instead of, that Harrison Ford wasn't the originally cast member to play the character. It was actually Tom Selleck,
Yeah.
and he turned it down because he wanted to do Magnum PI. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford made the right choice.
Yeah.
Well, you can't imagine it now not being Harrison
No.
Ford, can you?
Harrison Ford is so old now, though.
That's what happens, you know. The Spy Who Loved Me, which is obviously a very funny James Bond start sequence, where Roger Moore manages to disappear and fly for somewhere in the snowy territories off a mountainside with a parachute that's got the Union Jack on it, and then kicks in with "Nobody Does It Better."
Oh,
Very cheesy.
That is good.
But
Good
it
old
is
cheesy
funny.
original Bond. See, and then you've got the other Roger Moore one of Moonraker, where
Yeah.
he's fighting off two baddies, Jaws, and I can't remember who the other one is.
Just
but
some other
just some
random victim, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good going.
I don't. Yeah.
You still not.
I actually don't. I don't like James Bond really. I'm not into it. It's not my thing.
That's fair enough. I know a lot of people who don't. I mean, we did talk last week about recasting it as Jane Bond.
Then I might watch it, but it's okay.
I'm never sure what's going on in a lot of them, especially the last one.
Last one wasn't very good, I don't think. Not
What was
compared
the
to
last
Skyfall. Spectre, yeah.
I did
Skyfall was
enjoy it
okay.
actually, and I didn't enjoy Skyfall all that much.
I like Skyfall.
I still thought it was good. I like all the Daniel Craig Bond films, but I just
Even
thought
Quantum of Solace.
Yeah, I do. I think it's just him. He's just Bond for me. But for me, Skyfall was great at the start, and then it just got a bit silly.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit more how they used to be, I suppose, a bit more tongue-in-cheek and stuff, but it just didn't work from the way it had been gritty before, and I think Spectre was a bit more back in the Daniel Craig camp of the original Bonds, but maybe that was just because I hadn't been out for a long time. I was just pleased to get out of the house.
She was on a
go
big
to
trip.
cinema. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So
Cool.
what about the your view on, was this Harry Potter
Yeah.
Yes.
that you wanted to
So
recast?
I
or-
love Harry Potter. It's one of my favourite things. I once considered getting a Harry Potter tattoo. I got a whole sleeve drawn up, decided not to go with it. But that's how much I love it. Anyway, so in The Prisoner of Azkaban, the third book and film, Hermione gets a time turner. And I have a real issue with this because she just goes back to save the Hippogriff and free Sirius Black, I think. Okay, so she's got a time turner, guys. Why doesn't she go all the way back and kill Tom Riddle, who later becomes Voldemort? Because that would just save everyone a lot of hassle. Like, Jo could have stopped there. She didn't have to write another 4 books. Like, she didn't need to get a whole franchise. She could have just had a trilogy. Harry Potter didn't need to steal all the glory. Hermione could have gone back in time.
And did she use the time turner in the next
Yeah.
films?
No, she doesn't use it again. The time turner miraculously
Just disappears.
She could have saved Sirius Black from dying, but no, she...
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore, well, like, Snape, all of them. But...
Oh, yes.
I don't know, maybe Hermione's not like careless, I don't know what she did with it. It's not explained. So that's what I would change anyway. I think that that's a plot change for me. But I know that you'd recast.
Yeah, I've always had a bit of an issue with Daniel Radcliffe playing Harry, because I read the books first. I read them to a child, and quite enjoyed them. And then when the films came out, felt like I wanted to kind of see what it was like. And I always find films a bit disappointing if you've read the books first. And I think when you've read the books, you've got a really clear view of characters and that in your head and what they look like. And I can't quite put my finger on it, but he just wasn't what I was expecting from Harry. And I think in the first couple, he was just so pathetic, and I just don't like the main character. That's why I really struggled with the films, even though I still think they were quite good films. I just struggled with him as a character. I didn't care about him as a character, so kind of ruined it for me.
He is
really.
quite pathetic, isn't he? I'm a what?
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
And I think Hermione is the much stronger character in it. So yeah, for me, it's just, they are good films, but it was just the casting of the actor. I was trying to think who I would put in his place, and I'm not sure I have an alternative, but just for me, he isn't quite the Harry in the book.
Yeah, he's not quite there. He needs to be a bit more rough.
Yeah.
A bit more of a tramp.
A bit more of a tramp.
A bit more robust as well.
Yeah. Yeah, like a child Russell Brand or something. Like
yeah. A bit cheeky with it as well as that would be much better.
What What's the other film he's in? Woman in Black.
Yeah, that's a good
Oh,
film.
yeah.
That is.
That was a bit creepy.
Yeah, it's
But
actually quite scary.
But I thought
pretty good.
again he was miscast in that.
Me too.
I just felt he was a bit
It's
too
just
young
him
to
for
be.
me. He just
They needed
doesn't
more of a
work.
man really. Than he was still quite. I'm a what?
Yeah.
In that, so.
I saw the production in London,
Oh,
and
is it
that is
good?
really
That's
creepy,
really scary,
really
yeah.
creepy, and it's at the older theatre. I forget the name of, and
I'd like to see it.
yeah, they make the room very cold as well, and you get a blast of air around your feet and stuff at some parts of it, and they try to play on your mind with the rocking chair and stuff. It was very creepy. It was good. And
Was
again,
it scary? Were you?
yeah, I kind of enjoyed it a lot more than
I want to.
than the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely worth it.
Oh, that sounds
definitely
good.
worth
I've
it.
heard
It's
it
really
scary.
good.
My friends have seen it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It sort of stays with you afterwards. It's one of
Mm.
those where you think, oh, we got a bit of a chill. Definitely worth going to see.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Susan Hill wrote it, didn't she?
The old film is much better than the new film, I think. The original Woman in Black film.
Yeah, I haven't seen the original
It's a
film.
bit
I'll have to go back and
creepy,
watch that.
Oh, that's interesting. Because the new one only just got a 12. They had to make quite a few cuts to get it down to a 12. It was like original pass. It was like too scary. They had to
Yeah,
do
it's
quite a few
bit,
changes.
It's good.
So,
Woman in Black 2 is not very good though.
is
No,
it
I
not?
haven't even bothered seeing it. I don't tend to watch many sequels, to be
No.
honest.
No.
There's not many good ones.
No.
Very true.
Maybe we should look at that as a topic. Epic sequels.
Yeah,
Going
because you've got your
forwards.
obvious choices, haven't you? You've got Aliens, which is great. You've got Empire Strikes Back. Got The Godfather Part 2.
Yeah, so there'll be
But there'll be others. that you
Toy
go-
Story.
terrible.
Well, Toy Story, you could argue that Toy Story is the greatest trilogy of all time in terms of sheer consistency.
Hello, Pixar. Can't wait for Finding Dory.
Yes.
Early reviews for that are really good.
Well, it's got my leader in it, Ellen DeGeneres, so it's always going to be great.
My leader.
Let's talk about why there's so many silver cars.
This is another story. Well, another question that's come up from The Guardian this morning. Question in their reader forum. Just why are there so many silver cars on the roads?
I am going to Google this right now.
Good
They're
luck
easy to
getting some
clean.
internet. Yeah. Thoughts on silver cars? Does anyone have a silver car in the room?
does anyone
Yes,
Yeah,
I
he
do have a
does.
silver car.
Is it because it's one of the options that you usually get colour option free? You don't have to pay for an upgrade in colour, and people don't want to convert. Yeah.
Well, my understanding is a lot of manufacturers would automatically start with a certain set number of colour palettes because they probably bought enough of it in bulk to make it that they can give it away for free.
But why do people choose a silver car out of all the colours?
I don't know actually. So when I got my car, which is a lease car, it was cheaper to get it in red, but I didn't want a red car. And then it was just between white and blue. I don't think silver was an option, but if it was, I don't think I would have chosen silver.
Yeah, with my car, silver was more expensive. It was black or white, and then silver was more expensive.
Yeah, I think black and white's definitely the current trend.
And it can be matte as well, whereas silver often has to be metallic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mine's
don't.
metallic.
I'm not sure I like silver cars. Like, no offence.
You're taken.
It's
a
just
car.
a random question on the Guardian forum if you feel the need to...
I've got one
Yeah,
here
we were
for
just
you.
representing Dale, by the way, by
Yeah,
mentioning
he's
the
not here.
Guardian. Dale's
So-
not here today.
Somebody said, back in the 80s, 90s, most cars were blue or maroon, or other colours like that. So this is obviously very scientific. The only silver ones were flashy Mercedes or BMWs. ... Sorry, people associate silver with Swisher cars.
Is that what it is? People think it's a bit posh to pimp your car.
There are no
Silver.
silver balls on a snooker table, so you are less likely to be stopped by the police than when driving red, yellow, green, brown, blue, pink or black. White is even better, as a copper stopping a white car would be a foul shot. Or was that all an urban myth? I'm going to put my phone down now, because I think
The
it's a load of
intellect that
shit.
is on the
Yeah.
internet.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That was the random question of the week.
Yeah, so with that, just let us know on our Facebook page what colour your car.
Ah,
Colour of cars.
Foot face.
I know.
Don't know.
Foot face.
So you start me off.
Imagine.
My partner Dan's got this theory that Sarah Jessica Parker's face looks like a foot, and Hannah found a picture of her on the internet with a foot for a face.
She does look like a foot.
You need to put this on our Facebook
And
page.
every time we're sick.
This is a genuine reaction as well. This is
Oh,
what
God.
happens. Honestly, so actually, just while we're on Sarah Jessica Parker, as I've grown up, like, one of the things that I've really learned in life is that really bad friends.
She's really not a nice character.
I don't
She's a
like
really
Sarah
bad
Jessica Parker
person.
very much.
Well, no.
She's not very nice in Hocus Pocus.
Oh,
She got
I
face
love
like a spade in that as well.
Yeah, that song.
You-
Come, little
Yeah.
children, I'll take thee
You do
away.
realise that it's like acting, so she's probably actually really nice in reality.
I don't know. There's a reason
Still
she
got
gets
face like a
tested.
foot.
She's quite hot in Hocus Pocus, but yeah, she still does look like a foot.
We'll post the picture.
Yeah, we need to see that. You've got to post that picture now, Hannah. You've got to find the foot.
I can find it. I've got it saved on my phone.
Amazing, amazing.
Scarlet Witch, I want to know, this is another question of the week, how does she manage to keep her costume up? If
Are you
you've
talking
seen
the
many of the
comics?
picture, in
Well,
the comics,
Her
of the
ability
Scarlet
is
Witch.
to manipulate
This
the fabric of reality, so it's not. a
Yeah,
problem.
manipulate the fabric of her body, yeah, it's impossible. If you tried to do a cosplay of the Scarlet Witch, I think I'd get arrested.
Fantastic.
Have you seen it?
Hold on, I'm gonna look. Scarlet
We'll,
Witch.
we'll post some pictures of that for you as well.
She wears a coat.
No,
not in
not
the
the
ones
movie
that I've
version.
seen. But in cosplay.
Not in the movie version, definitely not.
Oh my god.
See what I mean? Defies all sorts of gravity.
Hannah's got a new favourite superhero now. She's gone off V. She's moving on to Scarlet Witch.
She's got tit tape on.
I think she's got a bit more than tit tape.
Like, but double-sided tit tape, not just to cover her nipples, to get the costume stick on.
There's some serious scaffolding going on in some parts. Yeah.
This one's rubbish.
That's a poor shape.
Put it away, mate.
Put it away, mate.
Put it away! Amazing.
Oh god, I need to do a YouTube video of this. She's hanging out a little bit there.
Whoa!
Like,
You do. We can help you. We will
Fight.
train you. We will train you, Amy.
I like millennials and I like baby boomers, but which one's better?
Is there any way to settle it?
Epic rap battle!
Oh my god, yeah.
We're going to have to make that as a
A
suggestion.
millennial
Rap
would win.
battle.
Rap battle.
Hello. We've got the Sugar Hill gang on our side. You may have Eminem or whatever.
You haven't heard me do Salt and Pepper. That's all I'm saying.
We've got Run DMC.
I know a bit of Rum DMC.
Run, not rum.
I meant to say run. I don't know. Sorry. Maybe I was
It's nearly
just
Friday.
I was thinking about the weekend. Rum DMC. Run DMC. Just get rid of that.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely keeping it in. It's very entertaining.
Anyway.
Let's talk about the film that you saw, Me Before You.
So Amy has seen it as well.
Yeah. So go on, Amy. Give us a review of Me Before You.
I was pleasantly surprised. I haven't read the book, and I know often people say the books are better than the film, but I've heard good things that it is just as good as the book. I thought Emilia Clarke was fantastic for the role. I don't think she even really had to act. I think that's what she's like as a person normally. It was also not as sad as I thought, which was quite nice, unless I'm just a bit cold-hearted. I didn't cry too much, although there was a few sobs in the audience. I don't want to... It's quite hard to tell you what happens without really giving it away. Essentially...
So what's the synopsis? What's the plot synopsis?
Emilia Clarke comes from a family that's struggling a little bit, and then she needs to work to help support her sisters and her mum and her dad. She loses her job in a little cafe, so finds a job at, it's kind of like a local estate, big posh house type thing. The couple who own its son was a bit of a wild dangerous sports fanatic in his day, and got hit by a motorbike and broke his back and was paralysed from the waist down,
Neck
from the
down.
neck down. So she gets employed to look after him, and it basically follows their relationship as it kind of grows, and he accepts her into his life.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's a great
It
little
is.
story. But
Yeah.
it's sad.
But it's sad.
And I'm quite emotional, like, when it comes to films. You know, Titanic still. Whew.
That was on the other day.
Yeah, great film.
God
And
almighty.
No, it's not. It's awful. Titanic is
it's
terrible.
fantastic. It's
It's been a
fantastic.
pleasure playing with you tonight, boys.
It is. Shall we do one more?
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic film. Anyway, and you know, so yeah, I get emotional. The Notebook again makes me emotional. deep down, but. So there's a scene in the film where she's telling him basically that she loves him. They never actually tell each other that they love each other, which I think is kind of nice. But anyway, and it starts to go all tits up, as these films do. And I started to get a bit teary, and my friend who was sat next to me in the cinema was shaking.
Yeah, my friend
because she was crying so much. She had to reach into her bag for her tissues and was making noises kind of like... And I couldn't stop laughing then. It kind of ruined the end of the film for me because I was in hysterics and everyone else around me was crying. But I'd recommend to watch it.
I'd recommend it.
Yeah, I'd give it probably a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, even maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. Instead of stars, I'd give it 3 lesbians.
I think in the style of Amber, it'd be my sort of film where they could have sort of improved it with a bit more unnecessary shooting in the meeting.
Yeah.
Just to improve it.
It is one of those, you have to kind of go and accept that it's going to be one of those films.
I don't think I'll go see it. It's just not me. I like a bit of murder.
I'm very eclectic with my music, with my film taste, so I think, I can watch it.
Because it's taken quite a bit of heat, hasn't it, from disabled campaigners?
Really?
Yeah, because of Sam Claflin, who plays the love interest, if I'm right.
Yeah, he's the disabled guy.
And a lot of disabled actors have said, why didn't you cast somebody who was disabled? Why did you have to...
I think in this sort of case, perhaps they should have. However, there are other things that you could question in the film. Without ruining it, you could just edit this out. But euthanasia is another key thing in there, so...
So it's got a darker edge to it as well.
Well, we don't have to keep this in, but I spoke to my friend about it, and she was like, "Oh, what's it about?" And I said, "So basically, they fall in love. You guys aren't going to watch it, are you?"
No, cold day now before I watch this shit.
So basically, I said, I gave my friend a brief synopsis of they fell in love, and she was wanted to change his life, and wanted him because he'd tried to kill himself previously. Promises his parents that he's going to live for another 6 months, and then he's going to go to Switzerland. And be euthanised because this isn't his life. So the parents essentially hire her, don't they, so that to try and give him something to live for, I guess, and to change his mind. And she isn't supposed to know this, but overhears conversations, and so she takes him on holiday, puts all this effort in, wastes her time basically, because in the end he kills himself. They go to Switzerland, and she's with him while he dies, and his parents are there, and it's all very sad. But what my friend said, well, so does this teach you then that it's okay, that it's okay to go and be euthanised, and that disabled people don't have anything to live for, and there's that whole side of it. I'm of the belief that it's fine. Yeah,
I didn't really read too much into it.
I think in the film he's very much I'm not who I was, this isn't the person that I want to be. So I want to die. Whether that's a good role model or not, then for people who are, who suffer life-changing, injuries.
Yeah. So basically,
that's something to edit out anyway. It's a bit deep.
She gets introduced. They fall in love, and then she kills him.
Well, she doesn't kill him. She goes with him while he's euthanised in Switzerland.
I mean, was there any? What is love, baby, don't hurt me, playing in the background as the needle was going in, or the gas in, or was it death by electric shock, or did they, let him run over by the bus?
All you saw was his hand, and then he was gone.
You just saw his hand, so did he go?
No, there was none of that. It was very emotional. Okay,
yes.
It was super.
Well, it wasn't really, was it for you? Because you were too busy wetting yourself as your friend was crying with laughter.
Yeah. Afterwards, my friend was just like, I just can't imagine if that were to happen in real life, and I was like, it's fictional. It's fine. But yeah, anyway.
It wasn't as sad as My Sister's Keeper. That really got me.
Oh god.
That's totally different from the book as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is completely different from the book, isn't it?
Yeah, I've never read it.
So
book's very good.
Is that Cameron Diaz in the film?
My Sister's Keeper, Cameron Diaz. She's very good in that.
Abigail Breslin is she the sickly daughter, or is she the daughter who refuses to have surgery to save her sister?
The girl who refuses to have surgery is the girl from My Little
Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah, that's Abigail Brenston.
Which is great. She's
Yeah.
a great actress, actually.
She's a good actress.
Yeah.
I love her in Zombieland. I love Zombieland.
Oh, Zombieland, brilliant film. Brilliant film. Favourite film.
Wanted to talk a little bit about a show I'm watching on Netflix at the moment, which is Voltron. I don't know if anybody's seen it appear in their timelines at the moment. Really good. So Voltron was like a cartoon from the 80s.
It's a bit like
It's an invasion.
Transformers.
Yeah, it is. And Japanese anime always has a big fixation on mechs. So by mechs, it's just like giant robots fighting each other. So have you seen Pacific Rim?
No.
No. So Pacific Rim is hilariously stupid. It makes no sense. Giant robots hitting giant aliens,
Wow.
which is
Yeah,
just
it wasn't
good
my sort of
fun.
film either.
And Voltron's not quite like that, but it basically performs a giant mech who then fights aliens. And I've been watching it on Netflix, and it's pretty good.
Is it worth a watch?
Yeah, I mean the first episode is about an hour, and then the rest are about 30 minutes long. But it's basically about the story about this alien race who went into hibernation, and Voltron was their creation designed to protect it. And they were in this war with this other alien race who have since this sort of leadership people went to sleep, have taken over large chunks of the galaxy. They've mined it, they've killed, lots of genocide, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And they're getting closer and closer to Earth, and these 5 sort of trainee cadets from Earth get brought into this bigger battle, and they become the paladins of Voltron. And each of basically Voltron is made up of 5 lions, and each lion's got a slightly different
It's
personality.
like Power Rangers, but the original.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
How much but cooler? It
It is better.
It is better. It's worth a watch. Like I say, half an hour. Just give it a good go. I would recommend it. I think it's currently got about 4.5 stars out of 5 on average at the moment. We're on Netflix, so not that means anything, because you get some real crap on there that gets really good rating as well, don't you?
I'll give it a go.
Give it a shot. So that was our last topic. Has anybody got anything else they want to talk about this week?
I'm eating my mango.
I was just going to mention the Comic Con that we do.
Yeah, please do.
That's all right. So just mentioning that the Leamington Comic Con, for those of you that are local to or fancy travelling up to Warwickshire, not until March next year, but on the 25th of March 2017, Leamington Comic Con will be back. We're going to be at the Spa Centre this time, so a bigger venue. Lots more independent writers and illustrators, as well as some big names. We did have David Lloyd, V for Vendetta, last year, so hopefully we'll have a few more big names as well. Lots of cosplay for those of you that like dressing up, but lots of things for families and kids to get involved with as well. £10 a ticket, or free for anyone under 13, and you can buy your tickets on the Spa Centre website. I'll drop a link on the Facebook page. Come and give us a like and help us share it as well.
Yeah.
Great.
Be very, very cool, and hopefully we'll do a live podcast there if we can, and try and
Sounds
talk to
good.
people around the day and do lots of little videos and all that type of stuff, because we really want to bring the podcast to you, the dear listeners, because that's what it's all about. We're also going to do a little competition for people who like us and subscribe on YouTube, and also like our Facebook page. So we're going to come with like a mystery box of goodies, of geeky, nerdy stuff. I'm going to raid my vault of things that I've got that I think will be pretty cool. And then all we'd ask you to do is, once you've liked and subscribed to those channels, we'll enter you into a prize draw, and then we'll announce the winner, send you the stuff, and then we just want you to take some pics of the stuff you get it, and just let us know what you think. Don't worry, it's not all going to be duff stuff, I promise. Some pretty cool things in there. That brings an end to this week's show. So
Cool.
let's just do Twitter handles, just so that everybody knows who people are. So if you want to follow Hannah on Twitter or read her blog, you can follow Hannah at
Hanruh, which is HANRUH. Yeah, come over to Twitter, which I don't actually really use.
But you will do more. You will
Which
do.
I will do. I should do to share my blogs on. But yeah.
I'm also a bit bad with Twitter, but I'm starting to get back on it, and it is Amy Lang, which is AMYYLANGE.
Cool.
You can follow me at either at @LemComicCon or at Nerds with a Z Bird on Twitter.
And I am at The1stBAT. And we'll give Dale a shout out even though he's not here, so that's Dale MC_ as well. So thanks for listening, and we'll speak to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.